Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today, guys, we're going to be jumping down into the world of Shiba Inu, taking a look at that price action, taking a look at the market overall, and giving my thoughts and opinions on where I think Shiba Inu can be going in the future. Are we talking 10x, 20x, 100x? Do we think it's going to a cent? So, we're going to jump down into the technicals and take a look at where I think things could potentially be going here for Shiba Inu. So as I get into today's video, if you find it useful and informative, smash the like button. Do appreciate that. If you are watching on YouTube and you haven't yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit that up and tap the bell. And if you do that, you'll be kept up to date with all of the videos that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you are watching on Twitter, why not go ahead, make sure you're giving us a follow, and hitting the retweet button will really help push this out to more like-minded individuals. So why not do us a solid? Let's get right down into today's video, right? Let's start talking about what's going on here when it comes to Shiba Inu. So we're going to kick things off by taking a look at coin market cap. At the point of recording this video, which we are doing a little bit of a pre-record here, so this price will be slightly different, but we're currently on the 0.00001024. Okay, so we're pretty cheap. We've come down pretty aggressively from the all-time high. We're in an interesting point for Shiba Inu, right? And we can see that the all-time high was achieved up here. So this is basically the 28th of October, by the looks of it, 2021. Now, as we can see here, the market cap is about $6 billion. It's ranked number 13. The trading volume is also ranked 13, so no disparity between trading volume and market cap rank. Market cap, of course, is just price multiplied by circulating supply. The circulating supply currently is 589 trillion tokens. So that's actually a pretty significant amount. So 589 trillion, 346 billion, 914 million, 631,298 SHIB in circulating supply right now, right? And that is a lot. Okay, that is a lot of Shiba Inu tokens out there. Now, some's going to get burnt. We know this from Shiba Inu. I can't even say the word now. Since the fundamental shifts when they brought their layer 2 on Ethereum. I know, it's going to be one of those. I'm never going to get it right. Nonetheless, it's a lot of tokens, right? And so we have to consider the balance between supply and demand when we do our analysis. We can't just think we're going to go to the moon if all those tokens are out in circulating supply, right? If they're out there in circulation, we need to consider, okay, well, they're going to get dumped on the market at some point, right? Someone's going to buy those tokens from someone who is selling those tokens at some point in the future, right? If we want to be making, $1 million or whatever on Shiba Inu, right? It's entirely up to you how you kind of want to think about this, but the fundamental basics are there's some people that are buying and there's some people that are selling. That has to be in balance. You can't have an imbalance in there without causing volatility in the market. Okay, if a load of people dump the tokens on the market, the price will drop down aggressively. And if there is so much demand but not enough selling, then price will move up. So hodl and the price action will be very, very juicy, right? And so for the most part, our market update here for Shiba Inu is quite an interesting one. Now, from a fundamental standpoint, right, fundamental analysis on this one, I actually didn't load up their website, but it should be linked in here somewhere, so I can come on over to this, right? The development of Shiba Inu is an interesting one, right? They are looking to launch the layer 2 on Ethereum, and that's going to be really potent. I think they've got the community to kind of drive it. So that's going to be a big fundamental change overall, right? But it's not to say that SHIB is going to do well. There's plenty of other tokens that I think might perform better, such as Bone, for example, right? So interesting stuff from a fundamental point of view, though, is how it started off as a meme coin and it's progressing to actually have some utility and something behind it. Now it's built out a very juicy community. So from these kind of points of view, I think, we've got actually stand-up position here that we can take Shiba Inu seriously for once, whereas back in 2021, we couldn't take it seriously. It was a meme coin. It was just wrapped up in all this other meme coin nonsense. And it wasn't something that we could kind of look at and say, yes, there's a good utility, a good reason to be holding this particular project, right? And well, now things are changing up a little bit, and we might actually be able to look at this thing with a serious lens rather than just a jokey lens, right? And so it's quite an important one. I think the fundamental side of what SHIB is trying to do, or Shiba Inu are trying to do, is something that is very much needed. We need more tools to scale Ethereum, in my opinion, right? It's great that we have things like Polygon Matic, but with Shiba Inu might be a real interesting one, right? And that has a community behind it. So it's looking pretty good. But let's jump down into the price action of what's been going on when it comes to SHIB's price, right? Because it has been interesting. So here we have SHIB paired up with USDT. This is the daily chart, and we're just looking on Binance here for this one. And I'll clear out the stocks because they're not important to us today. If we zoom out of here, we can see that we had this move to the upside to the all-time high up here in October of 2021, right? It is a 5-wave structured move. It was 1,623% from the low that we see here on the daily chart with Binance, right? Now, there's plenty of other exchanges to look at. Maybe there's a little bit more information on some of these. We'll check KuCoin here. You can see that there's a little bit more information, but it's still, not the best. Let's see if there's anything else on some of these other exchanges that might be a little bit more insightful. At the moment, I don't think we've got anything on here that's going to be, so I think that's probably going to be the best one. I might as well just use Binance for now because we've got some drawings already on there. But you can kind of see here that we had this run upwards. It's a 5-wave pattern, 1,600%. Now, when we take a look at these, I'm going to go ahead and just snap this on to the low down here, 0.0000510. Okay, so that's the low point. We also see that we bounced here when we moved down. This is our area of resistance at 0.00001704. Okay, so we can see that we're actually just stuck in this little area here. We hit a new bear market low point on SHIB on the 10th of June. This isn't uncommon. We see a lot of altcoins still bleeding out. This move to the upside has been pretty good for SHIB. I mean, we can take a look at this from a percentage point of view. However, we have to consider that this is also not necessarily the strongest position to be in, right? It's had a 100% move to the upside. It's been great, but it's not going to be necessarily what we want to see at the moment, because I do think that actually there's another move to the downside to be had here for Shiba Inu on the larger scale of things, right? So we can see that we've come down quite aggressively. We can see that we do have some 3-wave patterns that are of interest to me. Specifically when we have here, right, if we actually draw in our 3 waves, we can see that we had this move to the downside. It has come down deeper than the 1.236, and this is actually going to then lead me to think, okay, well, wherever this rally does finish to the upside, we're potentially going to have to come down one more time to finish off a W, X, Y, X, and Z pattern. And this particular structure would look more like this, right, a W, X, Y, X, and Z. This would be the bear market low point where we would potentially be looking at the buy for the long, because this could be pretty juicy. Now, the unfortunate thing would be breaking down lower than 0.0000510. And the unfortunate thing with that is we would basically have to kind of start a complete new pattern to the upside. It's not the end of the world, of course, because moving a pattern to the upside is not all that bad. I guess that brings us on to the price target. What's the expectations here? Well, do we think that we're going to see 100x on Shiba Inu? Okay, this is kind of the thing, right? If we want to be turning, $100 into $100,000, or if we want to be turning, some significant small amounts of money into, significant amounts of money. Some things I've seen already are, can we turn, people are saying you can turn $100 into, $1 million. And I don't think this is actually something that you're going to see. This is a bit of a dream. Not a reality, and is quite unfortunate. Okay, unfortunately, the thing here is that we've already kind of seen those gains. Those gains happen from like inception, right? When you're buying it, when there isn't much supply out there, you're the very first early adopters of it, right? Now, because it's been out for quite some time, you're actually now in conservative gains. Yes, there will be gains to be made, but you won't be turning $100 into $1 million. Would you turn $100 into $100,000? Probably not. You're not going to do that either. Now, what could you do? Well, if you wanted to put $100 into Shiba Inu, then you could potentially look at that within a territory of a 10 to 20x, right? As in, you could turn that into $1,000 to $2,000, right? If you put $1,000 in, you might be able to turn that into $10,000 to $20,000. These are still very nice and very significant gains to be had. They're not something to kind of take lightheartedly. What you put in, you're going to get out pretty significantly, in my opinion. as long as you have good strategies about how you do it. Now, if we take a look at this from our current scales of things, right, let's assume that maybe the bear market low is in, right? If we assume that the low is already in, then this is going to help us with just giving out some rough predictions, right? And if we were to mirror what happened back in 2021 in terms of that latter part, not the early part, because obviously we know that there was a bull run in the early parts that we cannot see on here. Okay, so we know that there was a very significant surge upwards before we had this last little push to the upside, right? Now, if we were to just take that last little bit, where would you go, right? How high would this potentially be? Well, we'll be looking at this area just here, right? Essentially, we would be between the 1 and the 1.236. Okay, so this is going to be your super conservative target range. Okay, and this is basically just saying we're going to do this little bit here, and we're going to repeat it. Okay, now this is not uncommon from a zigzag pattern. And okay, this would put us at about 16x to about a 33x, which again isn't bad. It's pretty juicy. It's not a bad return on your investment. However, if we were to see a repeat of the entire structured move, then I think we're going to see those kind of gains, right? We would see, upwards of 100x, right? 100x would basically put us right about here. Okay, so it'd be basically 0.00054,909, and it was a bit of a challenge to do that, right? You're going to have to see a shrinkage of the supply, increase in the demand. It's not an impossibility, but it's something that we need to kind of be thinking about. Okay, well, I'd much rather have anchored in those kind of 16 to 33x gains than on a kind of pin all my hopes in thinking that we might go to 100x. It's definitely possible, but it's not something I would be personally holding my breath for. It's something that I think would take a lot longer to play out, and we'd have to see some real fundamental changes with the tokenomics of SHIB as well. But let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. Do you think that 100x is on the cards still? Or do you think those days have gone? They've sailed. That ship's gone. It's done. It's dusted. Or maybe you think, no, 100x is easy. Maybe we'll be going to 500x, 1000x. Let me know what your thoughts are on this one in the comments below. For me personally, I think, a nice 16 to 33x is actually a really healthy bull market for many altcoins. And that would be a pretty nice thing to see here on SHIBA INU. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm going to leave this video there. If you found it useful, smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and don't forget to join us down in Discord. Until the next one though, guys, have a fantastic day.